sharing a few thoughts regarding the commute that I'll have for the next several years as I live in Manhattan, but will be doing much of my work with my business in Leavenworth, as I have been for the last year or so. I'd like to note that my wife is more comfortable with commuting than I am, so that puts in perspective that it is an intentional choice that I'm making to do something that I wouldn't mind bypassing, but it means that it's an investment for me each time in time and effort, and therefore it's meaningful to me each time I come or travel to Leavenworth. So I'm hoping that it's meaningful for both sides. I do want to share some different times that have prepared me for this kind of commute, both to remind myself and to reduce any feelings of apprehension or I want to call it guilt, but just thinking that for those who I see that they feel bad that I'm making that kind of trip. So my first experience with a 2-hour commute or travel was going from where I grew up in the Metro Detroit area to going to where I went to school in Central Michigan for a 7-year period between undergrad and grad school. I did not go that often, but each trip, of course, was 2 hours. Then, when I was living in Korea, it would take, with the train and subway system, about 2 hours to travel from where I worked near Gyeongju-song down to Seoul. And at first that was to visit other co-workers in a small post there. But then when I started going to church, which was a weekly basis, and then when I met my to-be wife and would travel on a weekly basis, either going to church or church activities, or we'd meet on Saturdays to do different recreational things in the Seoul area. So for a year or so, I got used to traveling back and forth on a day trip, 2 hours each way. But that was the easiest one because I wasn't driving. And then when I was living in Germany for more than a year, I would travel about 2 hours to go and support work at 2 different garrisons that were very close to one another, but were about 2 hours away, especially once you added traffic, which was, of course, going to be during work days. So again, just sharing these thoughts to let you know what the commute means to me and as to why I believe that I will be able to keep it up for a several-year period while living in the Manhattan area.